Hello, my most amazing art students. Today we're going to talk about this sculpture. This type of sculpture of a head and shoulders is called a bust. And you can find busts all over the place in many museums, but this happens to be a bust of Queen Nefertiti of Egypt. I wanted to talk with you about this sculpture and ask, what do you see in the sculpture that makes you think that she might be a queen? Think in your mind, what are some of the things that are here in the sculpture that make her queen-like? Well, one, she's very regal, which means she's looking at you very properly, and her head is held high. She's, her neck is stretched forth. She has this elaborate headgear on. It's like a crown of some sort. And then this very fancy necklace collar that she has. It's very detailed. And she's also wearing makeup, which common people didn't even really have access to in her time. So, well, they did, but it wasn't something that they wore very often or at all. So the colors on her that indicate gems and pictorials on her headgear and her necklace collar. And I wanted to ask what you guys think about how the artist that was creating this, how he made this necklace so beautiful. What did he do to make it look pretty, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. He used different colors, okay, and different shapes to show that there are varying things going on. The design is very intricate, which means it has a lot going on in it. There are many levels of design within it, and it has gold trim. Gold was, something that the pharaohs and the queens back then, and you guys saw in last week's lesson with Tutankhamun's coffin, that his entire coffin was made of solid gold. So having these gold pieces in here show that, show the beauty, that's something that the artist really wanted to stand out. Another thing we can talk about is in the sculpture is something else you guys have learned about, which is line. Okay. Let's see. The use of line, which is really interesting in here because this is a piece of limestone that was carved into, but the artist also put a thin layer of plaster over the top of the limestone so that they could carve into it. And because of that, there's this thick line that goes around here and leads the eye around, as well as all of these lines. Also very symmetrical. You can put a line down the middle of the sculpture all the way to the top. This even has a piece right here. And it's the same on both sides as much as it can be. The lines, everything draws you straight to her face. There's this triangle shape that continues here and just really focuses your eye to this middle part of the sculpture by that. So there are lines in the necklace, lines in the headwear, and these implied lines, which we don't see. We don't see a triangle drawn here, but it does draw our eye right to her face. So the last question that I have for you to think about is, does this bust look like a real person? Would you say that it looks like someone that could exist today. It's up to you to decide, and I want you to tell me in the answer box, the submit button, whether you think that this bust, does she look like a real person? Why or why not? Thanks for joining me.